Welcome to Tech Abilities, produced live in the Blind Abilities studio. I want to thank all of you for listening and for sending in your feedback. It's well appreciated. And if you want to send us some feedback, give us a call at 612-367-6093. Leave a message. We'd love to hear from you. Or send us an email at info@blindabilities.com. Be sure to check out the show notes for all the tech tidbits and news that we cover in this episode. So without further ado, let's get this show started.
It looks kind of legit if you don't pay attention. Where it's like, you need to click here to verify your account. Put in your password and all this. And like, no.
We could just call it the Pro 2.
The Pro 2.
So you got the iPhone 14 Pro 256 Space Black. Did your case arrive already?
Where's the cricket term?
Beep, beep, beep.
Because here's the other thing that's annoying about the kid's profile.
I think for like messages when you delete something now, if you delete it, if it's from an unknown sender, that then I say, do you want to report this? And people are getting so annoyed by that.
They're not gripping the ear canal.
It's all about the grip.
Yeah, all about the grip.
We took a little detour. It's all good.
All right, from the Blind Abilities studio, this is Tech Abilities. I'm Jeff Thompson from Friendly. Wow. From Friendly. Wow.
Third time's the charm.
It is. From the Blind Abilities studios, this is Tech Abilities. I'm Jeff Thompson from Minnesota, and with me in the studio, we have Serina Gilbert and Seyoon Choi.
You just gave up on saying friendly, huh?
Oh, you heard the pause there, didn't you? My mind didn't, but my mouth did. It had an intersection there. How you doing?
I am wonderful. I'm guessing you're well rested, Jeff, right?
I am well rested. How about Seyoon?
Oh, chaotic, but, hanging in there. I'm excited. I'm thrilled.
Excited? Okay.
Thrilled.
Now that the launch day has all happened in the Apple Store, I got to ask, how's it been?
Oh, it's been wonderful. I've heard of, obviously, they're flowing articles of Tim Cook and some chiefs visiting like Fifth Avenue stores and greeting first customers to the launch. It's almost like our Christmas. It's fun. We opened up early, greeted our customers, and they're really excited. They're really excited. We had people packing up. I think there was just a lot going on, but a lot to take in. It's a lot of fun. People took a lot of pictures with their new devices. They got to line up at the front of the store and just get a glimpse at the fun. It's crazy. You feel like, the place you live in, there aren't really enough Royal Apple fans, but nope. People really, really got their orders in, and they're really excited for these launches.
Well, I know Serina's excited about tomorrow because what's arriving?
AirPods second generation. Whoa.
Pro.
AirPods Pro second generation.
You're as bad as me
They
now.
really need to. It's the naming convention. They need to figure it out. Get that. Go talk to
We
your
could just
buddies.
call it the Pro 2.
The Pro 2. Yes, they're coming tomorrow. According to my tracking, it says ready for UPS. And we should note that this is being recorded the night before they're supposed to deliver. So I'm like, do they just overnight them? I don't know. But it says they'll be here tomorrow by 7 p.m., so we shall see.
Nope, some guy named Stan will pull up in a vehicle and give you that cutesy little bag that says Apple on it.
No, it says UPS, though. That's the weird thing.
I know. I saw that, too. I went to track mine. Mm-hmm. The UPS comes up and blah, 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 and it's like,
But there's, no tracking.
Yeah, nothing's really happening. It's like their day off, because it almost sounds... It should have been here yesterday, or,
They charged me on, what was it, Monday or Tuesday?
Yeah.
I didn't even realize they didn't charge me in the first place until I checked my bank account. I was like, did I use the wrong card? Because I did it with Apple Pay.
I think it's similar to Amazon.
I already see there's a new firmware upgrade.
I saw that.
It's like, wait.
They haven't even come out yet.
Maybe the UPS guy is going to update it before it gets here.
Yeah. Could you update that for me while you're here, please?
Yeah.
I hope they don't have to make me sign for it because I'm going to be out in the afternoon. So I'm going to be real sad if they try to deliver it tomorrow and I'm not here. And
that would be, and I get mine and I would have to send you a message
yeah,
ooh.
you would do that.
I heard there's a lot of reviews about them in a sense that it's everything everyone wanted. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know. Have to wait and see.
There's one particular feature I'm really excited about is that you can find the actual set. You could always ping the buds, but now you could actually find the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
And you could even use precision finding now. It's like it located down to an inch. And I'm not under exaggerating there. You can literally find it down to an inch.
3 foot nearby, 2 foot nearby, 0.5 foot, 0.2 foot nearby, 0.1 foot nearby, here.
I have 2 sets of the Pros, AirPod Pros. We should come up with a new name for that. The APP, AirPod Pros 2 apps.
The apps.
Uh,
How creative, Jeff.
I was using them over the weekend, and I can differentiate between the 2 sets and stuff like that. But when you can't find one of them, like you set it down and you can't find it, I'm so glad that this is going to happen. So I'm going to donate one of my sets, one that the cat got probably, to the grandkids or something like that, you know.
Ooh, they got to deal with your earwax now.
Well, there's no tips.
You can get new tips.
I mean, sure.
Believe me, I got tips. I have cats, and one of them found out that they likes those silicone ear tips. Yeah, so I ordered some other ones.
That's funny.
There was an episode there. I came out of Apple Store only spending $8. Ooh.
I still don't believe it.
Yeah, I got a set of 2.
I think that was definitely a mistake.
I got a set of 2 mediums, and I did an ear test where you go through that sequence and you go through the test. You put them in and you hit the button. And it says...
Yeah, little fit test.
Yeah, it says I need to change my tips. I thought the mediums were always the ones that were best, but I don't know.
I wonder if it depends on like time of day or season, because for a little while there I was wearing, when I first got them years ago, I was wearing the medium ones. Then I felt like they kept like borderline falling off, so then I put the large ones in, and those ones fit for really good for a while. And then I was like, well, and then I put the medium ones back on and they fit fine. So I don't know if it's about, because you know, like different times of the day you retain more water and things like that. So I don't know. It's kind of interesting.
That is interesting. When I first got my AirPods Pro, that was like 2019 when they actually came out. When I literally went into the Apple Store and picked them up. I started with a medium and I'm like, these things are falling off. So I went to the small for a while. And I realized that the small ones are falling off like crazy. They're not gripping the ear canal.
It's all about the grip.
All about the grip. And then I went back to the mediums and I'm going to stay parked at medium because it fits just fine for me.
Well, I suggest if you're traveling and you're in a car, don't do that fit test during the car because there's too much external noise. Maybe that was the problem. And to begin this test, make sure that you remove your AirPods from the case and put them firmly and nicely, comfortably fitting into your ears. Let's begin. So let's jump into the settings and do a fit test on the AirPod Pros 2. The nice thing, they moved the settings for this. You don't have to go into the Bluetooth settings. It'll just be about 2 swipes down when you get into settings. So swipe a few times and you'll come to
Jeff's AirPods Pro number 3, heading.
And single finger double tap.
Jeff's AirPods Pro number 3, heading.
So I'm going to swipe down with the single finger, swiping left to right down to the fit test. But this is what I come across along the way.
Left bud, 100%. Right bud, 100%. Case, 100%.
And that tells me the individual components, battery levels, the left, the right, and the case.
Name, Jeff's AirPods Pro number 3, button.
And if I was to single finger double tap on this, I could change the name of these AirPod Pros 2.
Noise control, heading. Noise cancellation, button. Off, button. Selected, transparency, button.
And from here, with the app, I could switch if I want to be in transparency mode or noise cancellation, which I can also do on the stems, as we'll see next.
Press and hold AirPods, heading. Left, noise control, button. Right, noise control, button.
And on the left or the right on the stem, you can squeeze just on the front part there, just squeeze a little bit, and you can turn on or off noise control. And you can change these settings, like you could have it connect to Siri. So tap on that button and you'll find out all the details. And a really nice feature that comes with the second gen is if you swipe up on that button area, the recessed button area there, it'll raise the volume. Swiping down will lower the volume. So it's pretty sweet.
Ear tip fit test, button. Test the fit of your ear tips, heading. For the best acoustic performance, AirPods ear tips should create a complete seal when placed in your ears. Audio quality, a good seal will improve overall audio quality with deeper bass and richer low frequencies. Noise cancellation, a good seal will keep noise from leaking in or out and results in better noise cancellation. Continue, button. Ear tip fit test, heading. Place AirPods in both ears so they're comfortable and secure, then press play to test fit. Left AirPod, right AirPod, image. Play, button. The ear tips you're using are a good fit for both ears. Left AirPod, good seal. Right AirPod, good seal.
There you go. Just remember, do it in a nice quiet area while you're doing this test. And the results should be pretty accurate. So when you're unboxing your second gen AirPods, or as Seyoon calls them, the Pro, tubes. Don't throw anything away right away. Make sure you find that you have your extra set of tips in there that you can switch out. And to remove a tip, you just take your fingernail along the edge there and you find a little spot. You kind of lift up and they pop off. Kind of like nothing else, but they just do. So try and find that edge, pop them up a little bit, and put them back onto the piece of cardboard where there's a little stem that you can slide them onto and pop them back on. And then try the other set. And be careful, because cats like these things. My new ones arrive tomorrow, and I will get those. And so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to put them on. And they're coming in with that extra small tip, too. So I probably won't use that. So I'm going to dance around that medium to large, see what happens there.
Bet you'll be home all day.
I don't have a life.
Normally, any other day of this week, I would have been home every day. The one day I have plans, like...
I'm ready for them. I don't know. For some reason, I've been wearing them a lot lately. And I'm starting to think, why did I get more of these things? They're starting to hurt my ear because I usually don't wear them, 4 or 5 hours a day. And we went on a road trip, so I had them on. It's just, I'm excited. I am.
I'm excited because they say that the sound quality is a little bit better too. And I mean, I have always loved the way the Airpods Pros sound anyway, so it'll be cool. And I'll test them on an airplane for you all next week and tell you. Because I've definitely, although I don't know, I get nervous about wearing my AirPods on the airplane because you never know when you're going to hit turbulence and like they're just going to go flying.
Or all of a sudden there's a nudge and the lady's been standing.
Yeah.
That could be a good way to test out the adaptive transparency mode to see if we can let the voices in but cancel out the jet engine noise and everything.
Oh, that would be cool. I'll have to try that.
I actually read a written review. A lot of people said that these would be a great pair of little earbuds to wear to concerts because concerts can get pretty loud and there's a lot of bass and a lot of like over 100 decibels of noise that's blasting at you from the stage and the crowd, and then that could potentially be damaging to your hearing. And with the adaptive transparency, it could take all this high timbre and stuff out and then retain the frequency of the music. So I thought that'd be worthwhile trying too.
Oh, what's the point of going to a live concert if you don't leave with a headache and your ears ringing?
I mean, that is true. That's true.
Where you're really there if you don't.
There's an app for that.
I went to a Post Malone concert on Saturday, and
was it fun?
That was really fun. He ended up falling on stage though, so that was definitely
he was probably inebriated.
He actually played the guitar on stage, and he was putting his guitar away, and the stage like lowers, and they just didn't even it out in time, and he was just singing his songs away. He was actually singing circles, and the music just suddenly stopped. The lights just suddenly dimmed. It's like, oh, what happened? And then I hear from people go, oh my god! And I'm like, oh my gosh, is everything okay? Do I need to get out of here? And then he just fell, and he bruised some ribs and stuff. It's all over the media now.
Oh wow!
Who is this?
You don't know who Post Malone is?
Where's the cricket? Where's the cricketer?
Yeah.
Make sure you insert crickets there for us, please.
Call me late for the show.
We went to Imagine Dragons on Labor Day, actually, and that was a really fun concert. Trey had such a blast.
I also wanted to go see 21 Pilots. They were here in town
they're
a
really
couple
good
weeks
live,
ago.
too.
Yeah, they're really good.
I've heard of them. Both those.
I'm shocked.
Not a Post Malone.
No, Post Malone. Who's that?
Well, his full name is Austin Post.
I've heard the name, but I just wanted to know what his forte was.
He's an emo rapper.
/
singer, I guess.
Yeah, singer, songwriter, all of the above.
Was that for the birthday?
Yep. It was my girlfriend's birthday treat to go to the concert, and I also get some sweet deals on concert tickets, so might as well take advantage of it, you know?
What is this sweet life you're living, dude?
I'm enjoying it.
From the Blind Ability Studios, this is Tech Abilities. I'm Jeff Thompson.
We took a little detour. It's all good.
You said you actually went into the Apple Store to get your AirPod Pros or AirPods. Yeah, I don't know what AirPods you went.
AirPods.
It takes many forms.
What is that? I'll be nice, Jeff. I will stop.
Seyoon, you mentioned that you actually physically went into the Apple Store to get your AirPod Pros or your AirPods. You don't have the Pros yet, right?
I have the Pros Gen 1, but I haven't had a chance to order the Gen 2s. I just wanted to see how things go. That's kind of been my motto lately. My 14 Pro is coming in mid-October, so I just went ahead and let go of all the first batch of units and just gonna patiently wait for mine until all the day one bugs get all ironed out, and I've done over 100 setups of the new phones anyway.
Well, there you go. It's like they just mentioned that the pandemic is over and stuff, and Seyoon, you're going to work. It's back to this new normal. It just seems like we're just gliding in. There wasn't an occasion like, hey, the war's over, or anything like that. It's just like, get used to it. This is it.
My colleagues and I were talking about that because we haven't had launches like this in a few years with the pandemic and everything. Apple just adapted to the pandemic, and they had all these different modalities to keep functioning because they are, after all, a pretty rich company, and they were able to adapt and flex to meet the demand and the needs of the shoppers. But this is really the year that they went back to the normal, exciting launch, so to speak.
Plus, you're going to school. Is it the same way of going to school? Are you back in classes?
Oh, yeah. And it's been back. You've been back to class for a while, but it is just so nice to not have to wear a mask. Everybody's taken care of in their own ways.
How about you, Serina?
I still work from home primarily, which I am actually really thankful for. I know it's a weird thing to be like, I'm so glad this happened. But I don't think that my role, I don't even know if I'd have the role that I have right now, because even when I interviewed for this role that I have now, it was via Zoom, and I am way more comfortable on Zoom than in person with, 5 or 6 people on an interview panel. So I'm glad this is the new normal, that I can work from home and it's supported and embraced. And then also looking at the expansions that have happened with like DoorDash and like Shipt and Instacart and all that. There's so many more things on all those services, and I think it's as a direct result of the pandemic. So
I was reading about Instacart, and they said that the number of orders have gone down now that people are getting out and about a little bit. And they purchased the company earlier this year or last year about those carts that you put items into, and it automatically rings them up and weighs it and everything like that. And they're starting to expand on that, so you could actually go in and never have to go past the cash register. You just put it in your cart, it's charged, it's done. Just sounds interesting, the way things are changing. But I'm glad that people are getting out more. And myself, I still do Zoom meetings all day long. And it's just the new normal. There's nothing. I remember, I've been on Zoom. What's Zoom? It was like, wow. But it's just accepted nowadays.
Registerless cart almost reminds me of Amazon's Pilot store. They built like an Amazon Go store where the entire thing is not operated by human. You just walk in, grab a few items, you scan your phone upon entry, so they know who you are, and there's all these sophisticated cameras and weight sensing and stuff on shelves that can track if you're the one grabbing everything, and you just walk out and it just charges your Amazon account. So
sounds like
that scares me.
Remember the hotels where all those things are in that little refrigerator thing, but if you touch
because it's all weighed. Yeah.
As soon as you remove something, ching ching.
Yep.
I think the only person that would work there in behind the scenes, it's like the operations team or people who to maintain the inventory or to check cameras every now and then, but that would be about it. It just seems so cool.
Yeah. I saw the iPhone 14. I saw the Pros are selling faster than the average iPhone 14. Why does the iPhone 14 regular phone sound like a letdown in a sense? Because the Pro series is selling faster, and I just seen that they're out 4 to 5 weeks, like you mentioned, mid-October, end of October now.
I think anybody who places an order now would be slated for late October to early November. So I think it's just first come first serve type thing. But yeah, mine is looking to be here between the 14th or the 21st, so it'll be interesting to see when it comes in.
So what'd you get? You get the 256 or the 512?
I got the 256 in space black.
There you go. Yeah, I was looking at my phone and studying it, and I'm not even at 128. But I do know that if you're going to sit there around that 115 as for storage, phones don't seem to run as well when you only have a little bit of memory left.
Mm-hmm. Just like a computer's the same way.
Yeah, you need that breathing room.
They're little computers.
Mm-hmm. Aren't they, though?
The pocket PCs.
So that's exciting. So you got the iPhone 14 Pro 256 Space Black. Did your case arrive already?
See, right now I have a 13 Pro Max, so I get a really solid trade-in value out of it, but I just cannot do the Maxes. I had the 13 Pro, and then I swapped with my girlfriend to try her 13 Pro Max, and I just can't hold it. It's just way too big. I'm just very pleased with the battery life on it.
Yeah, that's what really matters. Mine's down to 85% now on my battery health.
The battery health.
Yeah, in the settings. So maybe I have to get a new battery in a couple months. What's that? $99 or something?
I think it's like 69 or 79.
Oh, wow.
Somewhere around there.
You should know, Seyoon. Just kidding.
I don't know. I
guess that's the genius bar.
Yeah, the new 14s are 99. I actually need to know these numbers because I need to just be able to quote these numbers sometimes. People will just come and approach me. It's like, so how much is it for a new battery?
Speaking of batteries, they say that turning on the haptic keyboard might wear down your battery faster. I mean, is that clicking and popping gonna do that much? The thing I noticed is that when you go into, what is that, saver mode or
low power mode?
Low power
mode.
Yeah, when you go into that, it doesn't even shut that feature off if you have it on.
So this actually reminds me, there was a controversial discussion when, I don't know what iOS it was, but way back when VoiceOver started having haptics, when you were scrolling and tapping and everything, little bumps. People were reporting that if you had that haptic feedback on, it would drain your battery a little bit more because of the little bumps and taps that it has to push through the haptic engine. So I wonder if it's the same thing. For me, the keyboard one doesn't matter as much because I braille screen input all the time and you don't get haptics anyway. So I just left it off. And it's by default, it's off.
I definitely turned it on. I was very excited about it and I love having it on. Back when they added slide to type, you could still have the haptic technically if you raised the I forget what it is, but the time before it thinks you're trying to push a letter, I just raised it like super high, so I still had the haptic, but then it started auto-correcting weird, so I turned it off. But it's just barely, I don't know if Jeff, you turned it on. It's a very subtle tap, like it's enough to know that you pushed a button, but it's not,
it's that precision.
It's very, very subtle.
It's very precise.
Yeah, I like it. I turned it on and I like it. It doesn't matter.
Especially when you have it on silent mode, it helps a lot with typing.
With braille screen input, wouldn't that be funny if they had an option to turn on the Perkin Brailler sound?
Be so loud.
Oh, yeah, that'd be funny.
I still have one in my closet.
It's just a doorstop now, isn't it?
It's huge.
Yeah, I've actually taken off the cover of those and taken the screws out and stuff and sprayed it down and oiled it up and stuff and got it all working again. And then I labeled a few things. I was so proud of it. It went from the table to the floor to under the desk to back in the closet. Then you tripped
over it and stubbed your toe on it.
Now it's on a shelf somewhere. But I do put a dust cover over it because like having one of those Amazon tablets sitting around.
Yep. You just go and play with it every once in a while and then get bored with it.
Well, the first thing you do, you turn it on, you got to update it because you haven't used it for such a long time. And I don't know. I don't hear much about those anymore. Twitter, finally, they're coming out with the alt text option, but it's still hidden. I mean, I remember they came out with this a while ago, but now everyone has the option to turn it on. What do you think about that?
I don't think people are going to I think they're going to see it and be like, I don't have time for that. And then just hit post.
There's a really weird trend that I also noticed with these social media apps is like I'm definitely diving deeper into Instagram and Facebook. Instagram especially because being a college student requires an Instagram account, I feel like these days. It's not a requirement, but you almost have to have it to be in touch with all your circle of people or even with the school in some capacity. But when you post something, alt text isn't something that's a little bit more prominent and a little bit more explained. You have to like go under advanced options and like
it is hidden. Yep.
Then it tells you about it. Like, hey, alt text is to describe images for people who are visually impaired or uses the screen reader. And I'm like, why is that under advanced option? There's nothing advanced about alt text, guys. Just my 2 cents.
It's buried on Facebook too. When you post a picture, you have to click the more button and then go into alt text.
It's not like front and center.
No. And if you have this turned on, it'll be front and center. And I'm sure people will start to go, okay, I don't need this anymore.
Right.
So it's an opt-in type of thing, but it's not on by default. So it's one of those things that it's probably going to sit back there like the Perkins Brailler at Serina's place.
It's been there I've had that thing for like 20 years.
I'd almost be interested to do a social experiment to see, like, if entering in an alt text was like mandatory in all social media apps, like when you made a post with a picture or video, or we'll say a photo on it, and it prompted you while you're posting, it says, would you like to add an alt text? And then it would have a little blurb of explaining what alt text is. Like, alt text is there for like to describe images for people who cannot see. I wonder how many people would actually type like even one sentence audio, like image description.
I think that they would put inappropriate things in it and misuse it.
Oh, hidden graffiti.
I really do think they would.
We're going to assume a positive intent, though.
I think for like messages, when you delete something now, if you delete it, if it's from an unknown sender, that then I say, do you want to report this? And people are getting so annoyed by that because
I love it.
I do too.
I really enjoy it.
It's significantly cut back on my spam messages now.
And if you go back and you can go into filters, there's filters of senders that you know, unknown senders, or all, or the ones that you've already blocked. You can have it set on one of those, so if an unknown message comes in, you don't even see it until you go to that list. Then you can see that list has grown to 10 more, and you go through it and go, yeah, thanks for filtering those out, because you don't need them or something like that. You go into your Messages app.
Messages.
Go up in the upper left-hand corner.
Filters. Back button.
Do a single finger double tap.
Filters. Messages. Heading.
There'll be a list of filters that you can employ. Just start single finger swiping left to right.
All messages. 4. Known senders. 1. Unknown senders. 3. Unread messages. 4. Recently deleted.
So if you do switch it from all to something else, make sure you come back here once in a while and check to see what's going on. I do like that after each, it does show how many messages are in there. Kind of like taking a peek. If you're, deleting someone that's already in your contacts or that you've replied to before, it won't ask you if this is something that you want to report. So
I almost think the carrier reporting thing is like, in a way, like a crowdsourcing in its finest, because there basically is an option to send it to, I don't know if y'all saw this, but when you delete the thread, that seems like a spam message, and it asks you to, would you like to report it to your carrier? So I have AT&T, and it's asking me if I want to report it to AT&T, and then
yep, it does.
They'll see that, and hopefully they can react to the future spams, and they can collect data that way, which is fine with me. Like, I don't mind sharing a spam message, although I have accidentally deleted a thread that had like my verification codes, but it's all right. Those have been used anyway.
They change anyway.
Where does all this deleted stuff go? I do that in my emails too now. I go to the more, I tap on more, go to the bottom and block sender. Then I go back to and delete it. So it's like, I hope this stuff adds up after a while. After people start doing this for a while, I hope there's some absolute result. I hope that when you're blocking a message, a phone number, or an email address, I hope that it's just not blocking someone named Sam Johnson. I hope it's blocking the email that it came from, which I think it would. Not just Sam.
I think it is, because there was the Amazon messages before 16 rolled out, like the ones that was like, it looked kind of legit if you don't pay attention, where it's like, you need to click here to verify your account, put in your password and all this. And like, no. I was getting those like several times in a week. And ever since I reported it junk, I haven't seen it once.
I got one from Walmart Photos today that I still have 48 photos. I'm like,
you probably really do.
I don't know, but it was just
I think you might really have some pictures that you left there.
So I better go open up that attachment and see if I do.
Oh gosh. Yeah. So proceed with caution. It also says.
So I reported it.
I think there's one favorite feature with helping cutting down the email spams for me. It's the iCloud private relay. So if you're an iCloud Plus subscriber, you can now use like hide my email, and it generates like a random forward address that forwards to your personal email. And then you're like, I don't want this to get this email anymore. You could basically kill that randomized email address that forwards to your actual email. So that's a pretty cool feature. The only thing you need to caution about is when you're actually trying to go to a place like, I know a friend of mine was at a dentist, and he signed up to like a Smile Direct Club. I think that's where he goes to put down his relay private email address, and then they read it to him. It was like, hey, is this your email? And it had like some word like duck_frog something 42 at like something
so
Apple
random.
ID.iCloud. It was so random, he said. I just giggled. It's like, be aware of how you use your forwarding feature there, buddy.
Oh, wow. Yeah, like I said, I hope give it time. I give those, what are those robocall type of things that like Verizon has, where you can actually have it block calls and...
Oh, the filters, the call filtering.
And I never noticed anything happening, especially when I put it in your junk folder. Now, does that actually do anything? Is there someone saying, hey, this is junk? Well, I better beware and send this back to the server. Let them know.
No, they just use a slightly different number the next time.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I don't think when you call it junk, it doesn't really add up to, because I tried that for about 3 months where I was really trying to make it effective.
Why do we all have frogs in our throats? I don't understand. We are in 3 different places.
I know.
We're all like,
you guys are clearing your throat, and I need to clear my throat.
It's just one of those days.
I did a little experiment. I was throwing everything into my junk folders. I was really getting into this and hoping to see a change. It doesn't change. It doesn't do. So this, I'm really excited to see that Apple's doing this with the carriers, working with them to change it.
We cannot get life together. I'm sorry. I'm giggling at Seyoon now.
He's moving his chair. Get that Herman
We
Miller
are just
chair.
all over the place today.
It's the grind. It's the grind.
Some of these things that happen when new software comes out, 16 came down, and the camera was shaking. That was, I never heard of that one before. And I was like, what? People are like on all the social medias, Instagram, and
They're TikToking.
yeah, and the cameras are all blurry and shaking and stuff. There was another one that on reboot, voiceover would be gone. It'd be like, whoa.
And it was inconsistent when it did it. Okay, so I was like, I'm not having any bugs on my iPhone 12 Pro. But I set up the old iPhone 10 for my son, and every bug that could happen that everyone was reporting on voiceover was happening.
See, that's so interesting.
Like the bug where you couldn't tap your notifications, like you would keep hitting it, nothing would happen. The bug where voiceover just randomly shut off. But I didn't have a passcode on his, so it was simpler to fix. But yeah, I don't know if it's an older device thing or I don't know. That one does have Samantha as the voice, so maybe that's it. I don't know.
So the camera bug is really interesting because my colleagues and I just think it's like a firmware that controls the camera module is glitching out with third-party apps because it didn't do it with Apple's native camera app. But the minute you open like TikTok and Instagram and any other third-party app that used, those 3 apps are just prominently what most people use. But there was a TikTok video that was trending online with like some hashtag like Rattlegate or something like some silly stuff like that. But it was just a video of like this strange like mechanical noise coming from the camera module. And then 9 to 5 Mac is like advising people, don't open those apps if you have a 14 Pro series because it might damage the hardware because it's making those little rattling noises and mechanical noises. So I'm glad that fix was on the way sooner than I expected.
Oh, it's out. They pushed it out.
Yeah, 6.0.
16.0.2.
Yeah.
Where's the .0 I'm curious.
So
Where's
0.1 was a day one.
16.0.1?
Was a day one update for the 14 Pro series to
Gotcha.
address some like day one issues.
Did any of you see the cut and paste prompt notification?
Every freaking day.
Oh, really?
That was ridiculous.
It's annoying. I do a lot of copy paste and it was getting on my nerves. So I'm glad that they're going to fix that too.
Yeah, well, it's fixed. I updated just before the show here. Well, before my nap.
Let's be honest, Jeff.
But it was a pretty long install. I mean, not too long, but it was substantial. So I'm glad they're fixing stuff, and that was pretty quick. That I have to admit, that was pretty quick. Usually we have to
about
wait
a week and a
little while.
half. That's not bad.
I have to say I was very happy with how fast my phone updated because I was walking to a class this evening and then I felt like some warmth in my pocket. It's like, oh no, is my phone gonna combust? And I opened it and it was saying software update and it was verifying the update in my pocket and it just started updating.
It does
I
get
was like,
super warm when it's updating.
Thanks. I used it as a hand warmer.
As a ham warmer. Only from the upper Midwest, right?
Totally.
Apple One. Serena, you said you just joined up to this.
So Verizon has a thing where it's the iPhone Unlimited plan, I think is what they call it. And what it is we were on like the Unlimited Everything plan and it was $70 a line.
Was it like 5G Get More or something?
No, I think it was even above that one because it included Apple Music for free and
I think
all the
Get More
Unlimited
is like
everything.
their highest tier.
Maybe it
because
was
there's like
Get
a Play
More.
More do more,
But
get
then they
more.
renamed them. I don't. They're so confusing. It was really hard
So
to find the
confusing.
Apple One version of it too. So that was $70 a month because you get a discount if you do auto pay. It's like $10 a line per month. You get a disc. So yeah, we'll do auto pay. So then when I saw that the Apple One was available, which is very difficult to find and to activate by just warning everyone, it was only going to be $5 extra more per line, and we only have 2 lines.
Oh,
so
sorry,
it's
the plan is called the One Unlimited. So
Thank you.
for our listeners, I just Googled it.
You're so awesome. So it was an extra $10 a month for our family, and it included 200 gigs of storage, Apple Music, Apple TV Plus, and then I think there's Apple Arcade. So we were already paying like $5 a month for Apple TV Plus anyways. And I had run out of Apple iCloud storage. Like my phone would not back up anymore no matter what I did. So I needed to upgrade that anyway. So it was kind of a no-brainer. And then when I added Trey to our plan, or not a plan, but give him his own iCloud ID and all that, or Apple ID, it wasn't with the Verizon plan. I couldn't give him his own Apple Music account since we were getting it free with our lines. It's not like a family account, so I couldn't just add him. It wouldn't work.
Oh, darn.
So I needed to figure something else out anyways, so that he could, because that was one of the reasons that I gave him his own iCloud account and everything, because his music was really starting to impact my algorithm. On my own Apple. I'm like, there's AEW stuff, there's like the Bacon song, like this my 2022 replay is just shot because it's got all his stuff in it. So I was like, no, I need to fix this.
I've had the premium from Apple for quite a long time. That's the same thing, right?
I don't know, because I feel like if you got it like just separate from then not through the Verizon one, it's actually like $20 a month.
I'm paying $29.
See, I think you can get the same thing for only an extra, like, because you and Lori are on the same plan that we're on. I would look into it in my Verizon app. It's a lot of digging. I'm just going to tell you, it took forever. It might be easier to call them. And it was only an extra $10 a month, which is way cheaper than when you buy it straight through Apple. And it doesn't, like, you don't lose anything. It just automatically cancels what you already had and gives you partial refunds if it's need be. Yeah, it worked fairly seamlessly. I don't know, it was a little wonky the first day, but after that it was fine.
Yeah, because people want to get on the Apple TV right now because a lot of new shows are going to start to be coming out. I'm kind of anticipating the morning show, Ted Lasso, and a few other ones. There's some other ones that are out there, but it seems like we're in the summertime, and then we wait, and in the fall it seems like all the new ones come out again, and then you binge them and it's over.
But Apple's good about just releasing 1 or 2 a week, which is nice.
I like that too, because I want to say the voiceover, the audio description, no one does it better than the sound that you get for the audio description. That Atmos sound, it's sweet. You guys want me to describe what audio description is?
What is going on over there in Minnesota, Jeff?
The sky is falling.
The sky's falling. I want to start watching this new show. And now I found out it's going into its 5th year. What is it?
Cobra Kai.
Yeah. I've
never watched
wax
it.
on, wax off kid, Karate Kid. And everyone's talking about it, and it seems like it's getting bigger and bigger, So I heard it has great audio description. So I think it might be a new show that it might take up and look at, I don't know. Is it the same thing as Karate Kid?
So bigger and bigger is actually a tagline for the iPhone 14 as well.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
funny.
I'm not kidding.
Bigger and bigger.
How much do you think they paid for that? Like how much do you think
I
they
don't
paid
know
their
if they
marketing
paid
department
anything.
for that? Like, how many hours if you add it up? Like, I know, bigger and bigger.
And then get this, for the 14 Pro, it says Pro Beyond. There's like dot after, like Pro dot
Ellipsis.
Beyond. Yeah.
Oh, man.
How did you segue into that?
That's a good question. I think you said bigger and bigger.
Because you said Cobra Kai was getting bigger and bigger.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The family plan. I like the family plan. I'm all about that with Lori and I because we share the storage and she can have Apple TV and the news, everything like that.
This one doesn't have news with it. I will tell you that. Apple News is not included. Neither is Apple Fitness.
There we go.
But we don't use either one of those two.
So it's Apple Premium, right?
I
have. Then.
It's called Apple One, the one that I have. So maybe there is a premium one that's a step above that too.
Yeah, I got the whole 9 yards. It's bigger and better.
If you say so. When's the last time you used News Plus?
I use it all the time. That's my go-to news.
No, the plus part though.
Oh, where they read it to me?
No, the plus part.
Like
it's called News Plus.
I know, but they have audio articles that they'll read for like 10
I
minutes.
think
They'll
that's
read the whole
available
article.
without the plus part, isn't it? No? Yes?
Or
No?
is the plus part just the magazines?
It's the magazines.
I think you get the magazines, and then with this coming this fall, you get like live sports updates, which is one thing I'm really excited about as someone who is pretty in tune with hockey.
Yeah, I opted in on that.
Yeah, the sports thing sounds really cool. You're supposed to get a live score, which will be cool once it gets integrated into like live activities. But you can also listen to different like local interviews and stuff from like different commentators.
And probably get that fart noise that happened during the live show.
Monday
right?
Night Football. Yeah.
I still need to hear this.
Jeff, splice it in, and like it's like 15 seconds.
Fartgate. Stay tuned.
It's hilarious. I'm sorry. We are perpetually 12. You just deal with it.
Give it a little description. What happened?
I really need you to just play the audio. So we'll say cue the audio there, and you'll find it. I know you will.
The reason it's suspicious is because it seems like something muffled in your face, and then it came out the back end.
Patrick Beverly is that kind of guy, and he's feisty. He ain't scared of anything.
Well, is Draymond scared of something?
No, but the difference is that Draymond is usually arguing and fighting with the refs.
You heard it, right? I mean,
Yeah, but your family spent 10 minutes analyzing this.
It
I
was
thought
so
we'd get some.
funny. So Monday Night Football during the pre-show, and I'm not a huge sports person. My husband's the one that was like, by the way, this happened. So then, of course, we had to stop what we were doing to watch this. Dan Orlowski, I think that's how you say it, and two other people were standing there, and Dan Orlowski like flubbed his line, and you heard him pause, and it kind of sounded like he sneezed, and then you hear a very audible fart sound. Like, it's not like... It's undeniable. And they cut away from him visually. So people thought he farted. And then they come back, and the two guys that are standing with him have like this disgusted look on their face. Like,
Jeez.
like it smells funny.
Yeah.
And then on Twitter, all these like professional players were like, did you just like fart on TV? Like, what is going on? And then he tried to play it off. And then he was like, oh, I guess I shouldn't have had that dip.
Oh my gosh.
But then on First Take, Stephen A. Smith was like, how are you going to come at me like this when you broke wind on TV? And he was like, okay, here's what actually happened. I flubbed my line, so then I just kind of made that fart noise, but I didn't really fart on TV. Like, I shouldn't have made a joke about it on Twitter. But it's funny. It's really, really funny if you watch. I think it's, I just, that brings me joy.
There you go. Another thing we're talking about family sharing, including your child.
Well, iOS 16 has new features where you can have a child account on your family plan. And that child account has a lot of restrictions on it.
Oh my gosh, I went into that and went to the step-by-steps just to see how it's done. Because
It asks you to verify your payment method first.
Oh man, there's like 25 steps.
No, there was only like 3.
Well, no, I mean, there's 2 processes that you can do, but if you're going to do it on your iPhone, it actually goes through about 23 steps.
I did it on my iPhone. It was 3 steps.
Oh, really? Wow, they go through this whole series of go to settings, step 2, go to your name.
Oh, it's
step
all
3.
Yeah, because it's literally every tap. Like, you literally just had to it asked for you to put your child's name and create and it automatically suggested an email address for them based on the name, and you put the age, and then we had to verify our payment method, and it said it's just to verify that you, the one setting up the account, as an adult.
Yep.
And then you had to set up what you want the restrictions to be. It was very, very quick. It's just not working properly with our HomePod, so I'm trying to figure that part out.
I went through the whole list because they had said, then you can put in these questions, for security, and then
It didn't ask for any security questions.
I think they were doing away with it by doing 2-factor authentication instead of those pesky questions.
I think I may have had to do 2-factor. I don't know. I don't remember.
Then it says repeat steps 19 through 22 if you want more questions. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is long.
No, it took maybe 3 minutes.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Because actually, for all you people that rather read the book instead of see the movie. I'd rather see the movie.
I'd like to read the book, then see the movie.
Now that Trey is has a official Apple ID, have you noticed any difference around the house?
He loves his iPhone 10. He was bragging to all of his friends that he was getting an iPhone 10. It's not hooked up to any cellular plan. It's just like Wi-Fi, and then
basically like an iPod.
It's an iPod, basically. I set it so he can download his music. The cool thing that I really like is that when he wants to download an app, he can go in there and he can click the app to download it, and it'll send me a notification saying, Trey would like to download this app. And then you tap on it and you can see what the app is, and then there's an approve or decline button. And if you approve it, then he gets a push notification on his device that says he's able to actually install it.
Does it impact, like, say he listens to all this music or something like that, does it impact your playlist or the stuff that's suggested for you?
I think it's completely sandboxed,
That was why I needed to do the Apple One plan, so that we could have a family sharing of Apple Music, because that was the main reason I went ahead and set him up his own device, because he was muddying up all my algorithms on my Apple Music.
Oh, I tell you, I have, when we have family over and stuff like that, like during the holidays and stuff, or pre-Christmas area, they said, hey, Jeff, could you just order this off Amazon? Boom, boom, boom. For about 4 months, I'm getting these little things, like, do you want more Halloween candy? Do you want more blah, blah, blah? How about Play-Doh? We have a special on Play-Doh. It's like, jeez.
Oh, my word.
Where's my electronic
It's
gears?
way worse to mess up your Apple Music one, because I am a huge, huge fan of the replay playlist, which you can actually do them anytime in the year. Like, you could do it as soon as January 5th if you really wanted to. I love relisting, because it actually does a pretty good mix of stuff too, usually. And the last time I tried it, it had like Coffin Dance in it, which is, if anyone has a child in the ages of like 6 to 12, you know what that song is. And
there's a poop song. I can't believe it.
If there's one, then I haven't heard it, thank goodness. There's some bacon song. There's It's Raining Tacos song.
Oh my gosh, the tacos though. That's what I was exactly thinking of.
Yes, that was in my algorithm. I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, when the family's here, they all like to play this karaoke stuff, or whatever they do, and they all start going through this thing and picking songs. So I pick a song. They give me like 8 seconds, and they go, "Oh, next song." Blah, blah, blah. They yell something out,
skip
and they
right over it.
they just
skip right over it.
It screws up my whole replay, and I got this whole list of, I don't even know any of them. It's like, jeez. Goofy.
Gotta wait till the whole next year for it to not be screwed up.
You have to work hard on fixing that algorithm now.
I'm gonna go through and like dislike the stuff he had in there now. It'll take a while, but it's funny though. Even though he's been listening to stuff on it for probably a good 2 years now, if I tell it to play like songs I'll like, it doesn't seem to be impacting that, because I'm one that will go in and put a heart on the songs that I like to really make it my own.
I think your likes are overdoing his likes.
Yeah. I don't think he actually goes in, because he was doing it, because here's the other thing that's annoying about the kid's profile. He was listening to Apple Music via an Alexa device with the skill that's enabled there. If your child is 13 or under, you cannot add their own Apple Music account to the Alexa device. So I was like, well, that's not going to work. So I gave him an extra HomePod that we had in a spare room. But it's been giving us trouble too. He's logged in on his own stuff, but it does not recognize his voice. It won't let me turn that feature on for him for some reason. So, to be continued.
Well, Amazon September 28th at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. How's that? Say that first, right?
I'll actually be off that day.
That's 11 a.m. Central Time. Amazon is having their braking devices that they're going to be coming out with. I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with the Echo. It's been a while. But, I think last year they came out with that robot?
That nobody ordered?
Astro? Yeah, Astro. Yeah.
Who has an Astro?
Anybody.
I hope Alexa could come and clean my apartment for me, too, then.
Alexa?
Astro.
Oh, Astro.
Alexa and Astro. Ooh.
Yeah.
And
Ooh.
Ziggy.
Teamwork. Yeah, get the whole 9 yards.
There you go. Yeah, it's a teamwork makes the dream work.
Is your apartment as big as Donald Trump's?
Oh, gosh, no. There's no way. There is no way.
Did you guys see that squirrel? New York City has an apartment for sale right now. It's literally the most expensive piece of real estate that has ever been put up for sale in the United States. It is $250 million. The taxes on it alone are $74,000 per month.
No
Just the taxes.
way. No way. Wow.
Yeah, look it up.
You could buy a car every single month.
It sounds massive. It's like a penthouse, way, way high, and it's like 17,000 square feet or something.
That is insane.
It's a whole world.
Yeah. It said it had like a spa or something, and like, yeah, a ballroom.
It's like 4 businesses all in one, you know? I mean, she's the real estate agent that's listing that is probably just rubbing their hands together.
They're like, please, please, please. Who would buy it though? There's only so few people. I mean, there's Jeff and Tim. Who else? You know?
That's it. Yeah.
I feel like even Oprah would be like, no, that's out of my budget. Maybe Elon.
Might buy it.
Well, he's tied up with Twitter right now, though.
But even 250 million, I don't even know if he would. I don't know.
I think he would do it. I really think he would do it.
Just to do it?
You just have to give him a good reason, though.
Yeah.
It needs to be powered by the solar energy, like the renewable energy.
I don't know. That's a little too much real estate for me. It's like getting an iPad. I always think I'm going to use it. And then all of a sudden, pretty soon, it's like, oh, wow, my list is over here. My stuff is over there. It's like, you got to like move your chair over to operate the iPad. I don't know what I would do with 11,000, 13,000 square feet.
I think it was like 17,000.
17,000. Wow. You'd need like 12 Astros. Your cleaning people would never meet each other. You know what I mean?
No.
About 100 home pods.
Oh, yeah.
To fill up the room.
Could you imagine doing the announcement?
Oh, dear.
Broadcast announcement. I did that. The internet blinked out, and I got this little message on my phone that we're doing some maintenance repair. What? Who does maintenance on their internet service during the week? Come on,
Was
people.
it? Oh, you know what? We had the same thing this week. They said they're upgrading it to gigaspeed or something. But then, like, the internet was down for like 2 hours, and then, like, they're like, we're postponing the upgrade. It's like, well... Did you break something?
Yeah. So I call them up and I get the person goes, yeah, we noticed we did some maintenance in your area. You should unplug your modem and plug it back in now. I'm thinking...
I didn't think of that in the first place.
Well, that's typically what I was going to do, but it was like they've been having this go on for the last couple of weeks, off and on, once in a while. So I was just wondering, I thought I would get... We've noticed from your phone number that there's some service will be back on. I thought I would get that recording, you know? Mm-hmm. But no, I got the person saying, we'll do a restart from here. Why don't you unplug it? And I'm like, oh, geez, is the car in park? You know what I mean? So I unplugged it, did speed test on my computer, and it was all back up and running. So I thought, oh, I'm not going all the way downstairs to Lori's office. And so I just did a broadcast. I heard all the devices go off at once. I never did it before. The internet is back on. It was like, cool.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. And the thing is, there's a slight delay in each one, just a hair.
It kind of goes like, it's like a big like echo just all over.
Yeah.
Maybe that was done intentionally. I don't know.
And our 17,000 square foot, we should get it for blind abilities.
We could throw so many parties there, right? It overlooks Central Park.
Yeah.
We could schedule all our parties on one night and never even notice it.
There's a ballroom.
A ballroom.
The ladies could go to the spa. There could be you could have Post Malone do a concert in the ballroom.
Oh, perfect. And then he will not fall off the stage.
Jeff will finally know who he is.
Circles, right? Circles.
Yes.
I got it. I'll look it up. I'm up on the Halsey stuff. I'm up on a lot of stuff. I heard Post Malone. He was on, I think it was Saturday Night Live one time or something, you know.
I think he sang Circles.
He probably did.
Circles. We're going around in circles sometimes. Oh, I got something I wanted to say. I was going to say it earlier, but my iPhone 14 Pro Max case arrives tomorrow.
Ooh.
Really? You ordered a phone?
Yeah.
Wow. When is it coming?
End of October.
So you just ordered it today?
Yeah.
Probably coming in around the same time mine is coming.
It's so disappointing to order the case and, you know.
You can't do anything about that, though. You know, it's like, yeah.
Whole lot of cases, but not enough phones. We'll say it that way.
I am really surprised, Jeff, actually.
Well, I need it because I do the betas, and I just got so upset with this last beta that the things that happened on my phone that I steered away from it. And I like being a beta tester. I like doing the demonstrations when stuff comes out. And this time I couldn't do anything. And it's all because I tried that trade-in program one time, and that takes you out of the cycle.
It does.
And I like having an extra phone. And a 12 Pro Max is a good phone to carry on. I'm going to replace the battery, but I'm still going to use it. I'll wait till it gets to 80. I still got Apple Care on it. I don't know, one time the guy said, hey, it shouldn't be this low. We'll just replace it.
Yeah. That'll happen.
So I just bring it in there and something, give that puppy dog looks and see what happens.
Oh, that's a good idea. I might check on that before my Apple Care expires.
Yeah, I think I got till November for that. I was going to go with the Pro, and then I just saw the difference between the two of them is the same difference if I did the 256 or if I did the 128. So I went in there very conservative and was going to be, I was going to go with the Pro and the 128 because that fits and it'll just be the price-wise. But when I looked at the difference in pricing, it's not that bad to jump up to the bigger screen for braille screen input, maybe. It's not that bad for another $100. I don't have to worry about 128 being too small. So I did it. And, then you throw on the Apple Care, the theft and stuff like that. And there you are.
What color did you get?
Space black.
Good call.
You and Seyoon are going to match.
Good call. Except my hands are not big enough for the Max phones. I was holding a 13 Pro Max for the last couple of weeks have reminded me just how unwieldy it is to have a 6.7-inch screen on my hands.
Yeah, I used to call it the Volvo.
Small thumbs.
It's boxy.
I'm excited about next year. I won't be doing any beta testing because I think next year's probably when your phone's about 3 years, that's probably when it starts getting real glitchy for beta testing.
I did it this year, and I already know that if they do have a form factor next year, I will upgrade again, and then I'll pass my 12 Pro Max on down the line, to someone. But then I'll have the phones.
Even more years, yeah.
Yeah.
I've made it a rule for myself that I just change when the form factor changes.
Yeah. And that makes sense because I was listening to a review of the 14 Pro series. I call it the series because the Pro Max and the Pro series. And they say it's revolutionary with the dynamic island and a few other features that it's using. I don't know. I don't really think it is, but I just wonder what people are seeing in it that makes it so revolutionary other than when you're talking about the cameras. The cameras, I guess, are really hugely different. They're larger.
I think it's the facelift because the notch has been ditched for basically a pill-shaped cutout. Like, that's something you can visibly see and you interact with things a little differently now. And I think that alone is pretty huge.
And I've heard the dynamic island is totally accessible. So if you're listening to music, you'll get a small little thing just below your bar up on top there. And there is a rotor switch where you can expand that and get more information, like play. Because I know when my lock screen comes on and I was listening to something in music a couple days ago, sometimes it just pops up and it takes up the whole screen, like, go forward, go back, next song. And I go, what's this? I wish I could limit that. So now this will be all up in there. So that's pretty cool. I like that. I don't know. That's not a form factor change, though.
No, it's more a UI. Well, I mean, there's a slight form factor change because the notch is essentially beneath the screen now.
Yeah, but to us using voiceover, who cares
we
about a
wouldn't
notch?
even notice.
They could have 4 notches and I would be pleasantly pleased.
Exactly.
4 notches sounds a little dangerous.
Yeah. I don't see what the differences between the 13 Pro and the 14 Pro, other than the startup sound. I mean, I don't know why that can only be on the 14 Pro line.
It's a processor thing, the processor chip.
Yeah, but I mean, doesn't the rest of the phone know, hey, it just started up, get up, let's go,
So I heard like the boot sound, it's something I read online from the article. I just don't have more insight into this, but I heard it's because like it's in the boot ROM or whatever. So like when you boot it up, that little startup chime is actually embedded into like the actual hardware piece of it, not something that can be written over after the fact, which I found it to be pretty interesting. Like, so none of the older phones can have it. I think it's like the Mac startup sound, like it's like built into like the actual hardware before it hits the operating system, so it's not something you could modify.
So whatever your operating system put in that's part of the chassis it's going into already.
Yeah, it's probably like a little memory, like a low powered memory or something.
But still, there should be some software that, I don't know. I can't wait to see what people do with the dynamic island. I know there's already this little game thing that, kind of a demo thing.
I heard about that.
Yeah, and there's another thing that has this little person walking up on top of it, just walking around, sitting down, sleeping, and
The little island game.
Yeah. Innovation, right? Innovation. Someone will come up with something. And, I don't know.
I can't wait to see what they do with it next year. It'll only get better next year. And I'm curious. I can't wait to hear what you think of it when you get it.
But when you're talking form factor, I really want to see something, the 15, I really want to see something different. LiDAR to me was a tease.
I never use
like,
it.
You know, NASA saying, we're going to Mars. Oh, I'm excited. I'm going to stay up and watch TV and find out more. You know, I think LiDAR is being used in the door detection. I did try door detection. It's pretty cool. I had my office door open and I could see the bedroom door through it. So I said, let's see how it works here. And it saw 2 doors.
Interesting.
It is so cool.
And it told me there was a door handle on the left side. And
that's more detailed than I would have thought.
yeah. Now, it couldn't see the door handle on the other side because of the way the angle was, but it did see the other door. So it told me 2 doors, and I have it set up for within 6 feet. It told me that the first door was 3 feet and the second door was 6 feet.
That is very intuitive.
That's very
wow.
precise.
Yeah, I mean, I was turning so it would try and focus on one or the other. So it was like, door, one was open and one was closed. So if it could do it simultaneously like that, I'm just wondering. Now, here's the thing. I was talking to a friend of mine, Juan, and he said, I want to try this out at the Apple store when I approach the store to turn on door detection.
It's clear.
Yeah. And I said, it'll be like E.T. Your phone's going to wiggle a little bit and then go, home.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's a clear door. That's going to be interesting. You think Apple would have tested it with their own door?
I think people with sight have run into those doors.
Yeah.
Plenty.
Seyoon's like, I just saw someone do it today, actually. No.
Actually, I think yesterday in the morning before we opened, we're getting ready to open, and I think they had a person who had literally pushed one of those doors and just walked in, and it's like, oh, hello.
Oh, it was unlocked?
We just unlocked it, and we were just kind of getting ready for the day with the meetings and stuff, and then this customer just pushed the door and walked right in. Thought we were open. The door was literally closed.
We have a building. It's called the IDS Center. It's the tallest building, one of the tallest buildings. I think it's the one that the Northwest one might be taller. But it's basically a glass building. It looks like glass. And the entryway to it at one time was just solid glass, and there was like 8 doors. And I tell you what, as someone who's visually impaired, I would walk up to that and I was dreading it. I'm about 30 feet
You're
from
like,
it.
is this a
I'm
window or is this a door?
It's true. And they make it so that door handle, they almost make it look very incognito. You know, it's like, is that a door handle or is that a hinge? Is that a hinge? Or you wait for someone else to go in and out, you know? Something like that.
So you can kind of gauge where it's at.
Well, they've changed it now. They actually have like a tint to them. So it's different, I guess. I don't go down there anymore because, the world has changed. I hope everyone got the toys they wanted from the Apple stores and everything. Seyoon, thanks for dishing them all out to everybody. Does it feel like Santa Claus sometimes down there?
Oh, it promised me. I do. I get to be the first few people to hold the box. I had fun during launches. And I had fun holding the new boxes.
Yeah.
It was so smooth. I was upset that the Pro boxes are no longer black anymore. It's all white now.
They always go back and forth between what colors those boxes are, I've noticed.
They were black since the 11 Pros, and then they stayed black until the 13 Pro series, and then now it's back to the white box. So, oh well.
Yeah.
I guess the paint to paint the boxes, like the ink, is just too expensive.
Well, my AirPod Pros 2 would have been here yesterday, but it said they were attaching a label to the box. It's such a tease from the Apple store when your stuff is getting ready to ship.
You knew they weren't going to come early.
Yep.
You knew.
But it's misleading. I swear it's misleading because
I think there is a very, very tight relationship between us and the carriers to make sure that they're dispatched on the launch day. Not earlier, not later.
Someone already got their Apple Watch Ultra, they got it yesterday.
Sometimes I guess it slipped.
Yep.
I was reading an article about the Ultra Watch, someone that actually has theirs and using it and everything. They said, how many people are getting these things that are anticipating that next week they're going to go climb Mount Everest, or they're going to go climb Kilimanjaro, or that they're going to go run an ultra marathon and everything. But this one guy, he said that, well, his son was involved in this training, so he did 3 hours, total of 6 hours of Frisbee activity training. And I'm thinking,
like Frisbee golf?
Yeah, but it doesn't
an
sound
ultimate
like
Frisbee?
I think it was how to get away from your parents and think that you're doing something productive. It's like, I'm going to go play Frizz. But I think this is a unique watch, but I don't think anybody needs its capacity, its abilities. That is the average Joe doing 9 to 5 stuff, unless you're in training for something, I can see it. But I do understand that if you are out there looking for a watch for a specific thing, if you're a mountain climber, you'll have to go buy a $1,000 watch for mountain climbing or for hiking or some specific thing. But here, this watch is cheaper than that, and yet it can do a variety of different activities, setups that you want.
And the other thing I heard from the reviewers is they really like the look, because usually those professional watches don't look really aesthetically good. This one, you can wear it out and about in the public, and then no one will really say anything to you.
Until they see the orange button, right?
Yeah, until they see the orange button, but I think the body is mostly silver, so I don't think it looks too standoffish compared to the other Apple Watches. I guess it looks kind of huge.
Yeah, 49 millimeters. I'm looking forward to the reviews from some of these blind people. Blind people. Well, what do you call it? First,
early adopters.
Early adopters. I want to hear what they say about the accessibility of it, because
the waypoint sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Like you can mark your location and retrace your steps. That, like I said on the last episode, it kind of reminds me of the Breeze and backtrack function and those GPS era. It's probably way more precise though.
Yeah, I heard it can get you down closer, to your exact point destination.
Because it can tap into that L1, L5 like GPS frequencies for higher accuracy.
So that's what I'm waiting to hear about. That could be a game changer in a way, but I'll let these early adopters go at it. And, Yep. From all of us here at Tech Abilities, stay well, stay informed, and stay strong.
You did it!
Wow.
Nicely done.
And then cue our funky music, right?
And for more podcasts with the blindness perspective, check us out on the web at www.blindabilities.com, on Twitter at blindabilities, and give us a call at 612-367-6093. Leave us a message and let us know if we can put your voice on the next podcast. Drop us an email at info@blindabilities.com and download the free Blind Abilities app from the App Store and Google Play Store. That's 2 words, Blind Abilities. And from all of us here at Blind Abilities, through these challenging times, to you, your family, and friends, stay well, stay informed, and stay strong. I want to thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed. And until next time, bye-bye.
When we share
what we see
through each other's eyes, we can then begin to bridge the gap
between the limited expectations and the reality
of blind abilities.
The realities of blind abilities.
Blind abilities.